All right, you can expect some packed theaters this weekend for the new Batman movie. Michael Cook is going to join us. He's going to review that and Against the Ice. But let's get into the Cape Crusader first.
Good morning, Pat. Yes, the Batman, the latest in the Batman series, opened today at theaters. Robert Pattinson is the new Batman, and here he's a little different than the previous one. He's not the dashing playboy we've seen with Christian Bale or Michael Keaton. Here he's more of a recluse, kind of a little bit creepy and gothic in a way in this latest incarnation of the Batman. The basic plot line is, in some ways, Batman here is a detective because there is a villain named the Riddler who is killing prominent members of Gotham and leaving clues to why he's doing it and who his next victim might be, all the while Batman's trying to figure out a way to stop him. He teams up with Zoe Kravitz, who plays the new Catwoman. She is a server in a very seedy nightclub, but she clearly has other agendas in mind because she is Catwoman, and we try to find out what is she trying to accomplish. This movie is, very gritty. Paul Dano is the villain, who I thought was just absolutely fantastic as the villain. Very scary. You just feel his madness with a touch of his own crazy reasoning coming through as he's trying to, in his mind, reveal the lies and corruption in Gotham and the things that are the sins of the father, as it were, because like in all Batman movies, the death of Bruce Wayne's parents plays a prominent role, and it certainly does in this one. Of course, I'm not going to give anything away about the overall plot of the various things that go on, but overall, this was probably one of the grittiest Batmans of all. Pattinson has a different take on this one, which I really came to enjoy. Because I said I guess we're so used to the dashing Bruce Wayne and the double life he leads, but here in this one he just keeps to himself. He does have his butler Alfred, but very, very gritty, very, very dark. I don't think anybody smiled once in this film. It's that dark, as all the while Batman tries to fight the various villains who want to take Gotham down. I thoroughly enjoyed this new Batman. I really recommend it. I'm not a particularly Batman fan or a comic book fan, but this one I think is very well done. It is 3 hours, although I didn't quite feel it, so that is to its credit, because sometimes long movies can feel long. So all in all, I have to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10.
So it's even darker than like when Ledger was in it?
Yes, much darker.
Wow,
much darker.
I didn't know you could get darker. Okay.
Very much so.
All right, can brighten us up with Against the Ice. Can you brighten us up?
This is on exactly. This is on Netflix. Just premiered this week. It's based on a true story of two Danish men who were part of an expedition to Greenland, and their mission was to try to prove that Greenland was one continuous island, so that the Americans would not take ownership of Greenland. So these two men, they leave their ship behind to try to go way to the north to find journals left by previous explorers who died. This movie stars Nikolai Costas Waldo, I can never say his name correctly, who's famous from the Game of Thrones. Charles Dance, of course, has a bit role, who's also was in Game of Thrones. And then Joe Cole plays his very inexperienced shipmate who volunteers to cross the deadly ice with just dog sleds and food, trying to find these journals, trying to find, the truth about Greenland. This is a classic nature versus man storyline we've seen. There are times that the landscape is very beautiful, very impressive, but at times, though, the movie is just very flat. It's funny, Batman was 3 hours long. This one was about an hour and a half, yet this one felt longer because they're just in the ice and trying to survive, and all the tough decisions they have to make. to survive that you may not agree with, but that feel like they had to do it to survive. So this one kind of plodded along. We just kind of bored at times.
Yeah.
That's why, all in all, I have to give this film a 6 out of 10.
Oh, not a big fan of that. All right.
Yeah.
Any
yeah,
pastries in it since they were Danish? Got to ask.
Not one pastry, Pat. I looked just for you.
Thank
Because I
you.
know your love of the Danes and the Danish pastry. Didn't see one.
Well,
they could have survived if they had the.
We'll have to look next time. I'll eat one when I watch it, maybe. All right. Thanks, Michael.